Morning, folks. Out here on a Saturday morning. Had business to do yesterday, so I couldn't fly on Friday. But we're out here this Saturday morning. Got brought 3 planes with me. I'm gonna fly the good old bush mule, the Cirrus, and I brought the old Ranger out. The old 1220. This is the original version, not the V2. Does not have the spar in the wing. Look how banged up that thing is. It's okay. Also brought this thing out of storage. I'm gonna fly the Ranger. Might do some of my 4-channel planes. Put them back on this radio, just for fun. Just to see what's going on. I also put a 4000 7.4 volt LiPo as the battery in the DX6E. And so far it's working out pretty well, because that thing's a battery hog on AA's. Anyway, did some work on the Ranger, and let me just show you. Let me just put the camera on my hat and grab my radio, and I'll show you what we did and talk about it. Surfaces all check out, brother. And what I did, this is running on the Reflex V2, the one that come with it, and a Lemon 7-channel non-stabilized receiver. And this plane does not have flaps, but now it has flaperons. And you can do this with the Reflex, but the 1-channel, the 1 aileron is not going to get stabilization. So be aware of that, but it's still easy to do with that type of radio setup. Alright, on the high rates, 3S 2200. Been a minute since I had this bird up in the air. If y'all remember, you can see it there. I've got that CNC Designs from RC Castle, that suspension nose gear, and that thing has just been rock solid. Alright, let me step out here a little bit. Our runway's clear. Got hardly any wind at all. And I'm sorry, folks, probably about 20 minutes these are coming off. It's already above 40 and it's going to hit 61 today here. So all my East Coast brothers, I apologize, but it's going to get warm here today. This is just a rock solid little plane. Excellent choice for a beginner. I'm just under half throttle here. I'll bring her by and I'll let go of the sticks. Alright, we'll go around one more time, make sure she's flying good. I got a 7-minute timer on this plane. This is 3S power, 3S 2200. Alright, now we're going to come around and I'm going to click those flaperons on. Ooh. I'll take those out. It wanted to nosedive. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to land it, and I'm going to take my down trim out, because I guessed at the down trim. Alright, 1 second. Change that. Flap system. Alright, 0%. Throttle back on. Get back up in the air. Get a little higher here. Flaperon's on. Still wants the nose in. I might have to do up trim on this thing. Wouldn't that be weird? Completely off power here. Alright, let's go back in. Flap system. Let's add negative 10%. See what that does. Alright. And flaps on. Slight nose down. Add a couple more percent. Well, let's fly around and see how slow we can get it. Flaps up. This thing is just so easy handling, folks. This would be absolutely fantastic trainer. It's really durable, really easy to fly. Let's try flaps landing, see what we get here. Pulling power back. This thing lands great either way, to be honest. It really does. And you guys have seen me fly this in 15 plus mile an hour winds. It still flies, and it's stable and controllable. Just a fantastic plane. Even for people that are experienced, this is still a fun plane to fly. Well, my timer's ticking down. Alright, so let's bring her in and land her. Flaps down. Power back. Almost to off. That was a flaps on landing. Alright. What a great plane. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Morning again, folks. We're going to take another flight with the FMS Ranger 1220. This time we're actually going to take off with the flaperons and just do some normal fun flying, and then land again with the flaperons, just testing it out, having fun. I hope you guys can see that. That moon right over the ridge, just gorgeous. It's a nice day today, quiet, no wind, the flags aren't moving. It's already 40 degrees, going to get up to 61. Again, apologies to my East Coast brothers. I'm so sorry. I know you guys are going through it, but surfaces check. Flaperons, throttle cut off. And remember, you only get stabilization on one aileron with this setup, with the FMS Reflex. So you're not going to get, I know with the new AR updates you can get stabilization on both ailerons when you split them out like this, but for flaperons. But on the Reflex, it's just the one. Be advised. All right, runway's clear. No animals, no planes. Up, up, and away. Flaperon's on. Took off on its own. What is that rattling? Let's bring that in and check that out. I don't know what that is. Completely power off. Oh, goodness. Dangers on my runway. Check the hatch and everything. Make sure the struts are in tight. Struts are in. Hatch is on. Spinner's on. Yeah. I don't know. This thing is it's older and beat up a little, so it's gonna be noisy, I guess. All right, back up. flaperons up. I ended up putting a negative 12%, which is going to be an up elevator mix for flaperons. So bring it by, we'll turn them on. Might do 1 or 2 more percent, but it's much better. That's my first plane I have ever had to do up elevator trim for flaps. Weird. No worries. Full throttle on the Ranger. Nice big power on loops. I am still flying full throttle. Stick all the way forward. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you have a Ranger? Do you like the Ranger? I have the 1220 and the 1800. It's been a while since I've flown the 1800. I need to get it back out again. And I want to get a set of floats for that big old bird. So I think it would be a great float flyer off our rough lake. So our lake is big and it's windy nature of the area. That lake gets choppy. And this little guy gets lost. This little guy gets lost in the waves if it gets too bad out there. If it's calm, it flies great, but and again, this is the V1, the original Ranger. There is no spar in that wing, but it does have the struts. Very sturdy built plane, very easy to put together plane. And with what this plane can do, I am not worried at all about snapping them wings. I've got them glued together at the base, and the struts work pretty well. It's no 3D plane, but it sure is a fun plane. Alright, timer's ticking down. Power off, glide in. Alright, we're going to move to another plane, but flaperons on the Ranger, they work. Kind of fun. Thanks for watching, folks.